It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. But tonight we've got a good AFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll run with Hall. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. It's Devontae Adams hauling it in from Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. As they've got it as we resume action. Lawrence. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw going to be caught by Davis. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
They'll try the left side with Etienne. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. From midfield now, Lawrence. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try to match his intensity.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Here's Lawrence to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jermaine Johnson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets back out there. Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating? Can you do it? Can you do the formula?
No, I just know the higher the number, the better.
Yeah, that's what I've been told,
That's what
too.
I know.
I know that in the NFL, 158.3 is the number they're all trying to get to. I think he was that on that last drive.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On play action, now Rodgers. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Another tote for Etienne. He can't get him down. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This has been a hard-fought battle thus far. Just the one touchdown to this point is still anybody's game at 7-0, as both of these defenses have been out there trying to one-up one another.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. Here's Robinson. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Draw play, Etienne. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And this is caught by Williams. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is brought in at the 21. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Forced out to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Handoff running left is Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Looking to throw, Lawrence. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now Lawrence. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 36. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 13-yard line. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Etienne once more. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Well, this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Xavier Gipson now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down and 6 now. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, New York.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Rodgers. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Fourier and Luricon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll look to ETN to start things out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 81 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Lawrence. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
2nd and 6 coming up. Throwing now, Lawrence. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Well, this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
They come up now on 2nd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, an excellent tackle there as they keep him in bounds and hold him to no gain.
Well, that answers the question in my head. They're going to go for the win right now.
I think you're absolutely right. They're not content with going to OT. Whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now Etienne to start the drive. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. First throw of overtime for Trevor Lawrence. That is caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And how about that? So many times the big play is what does it in overtime. They got one there, moved the ball past midfield, and now you know they're on the move, looking to score the game-winning touchdown because a field goal won't finish the game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Etienne up the middle to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Here's Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. Back to the ground with Etienne. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They're able to put 3 on the board here in the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
So only a field goal on that opening drive of overtime. Will that hold up? We'll find out as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? The overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Pass complete, it's Adams. So a little chunk there on 1st as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Jags are going to win this football game here in overtime. Gigantic play by this defense, Charles. So they came back in the 4th quarter, took the momentum into overtime, and now they take the football.
And how do you think the team that just threw the pick feels right now? They surrendered the lead, got to overtime, had a chance to redeem themselves, and now they put the game in jeopardy with another pick. And guess what? Their defense has to hold.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Jaguars are winners here as